Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than like anything I've done kind of on this channel, I think, in that it's like not really prepared. It's not like researched that much. It doesn't have a solid thesis or a conclusion. Like, it's mainly just like an I want to ramble and make kind of a think piece on this because I have been experiencing things and noticing things on the internet, and I just want to see what everybody else thinks, kind of a thing. Like, I am willing to be wrong. Like, I'm always willing to be wrong. My dad's visiting right now, and I was even telling my dad, like, when I go in and research a video that does have like a solid thesis or conclusion in my brain, I'm okay with like having to scrap the video and be wrong. I'm gonna be talking about the weird link that I have noticed between the weight loss community online and being a bigot. The long and short of it, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Because it's just something I've noticed over the years, especially like recently, as people have been like emboldened to share how much they hate other people for things that those people can't control. I've noticed it and I just wanted to ramble about it for a little bit. So that's what we're going to be doing today, so buckle in. But before we get into today's video, I do want to give a thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Care of. Care of is back, and in case you missed the last one, Care of is a supplement subscription service that makes it easy to stick to a consistent routine. After taking a quiz to find out exactly what you need, Care of sends you your personalized 30-day supply of vitamins. And when I say personalized, I don't just mean the vitamins themselves, I mean it as personalized down to the fact that each and every individual daily packet has your name on it and a cute little daily quote on them. And the vitamins that I get from Care of still consist of the same ones that I got the last time, which are the rhodiola vitamin, which helps support a healthy response to occasional stress, which Lord knows that I need all the time. And it's an adaptogenic herb that is sourced from Siberia and Russia. I also take cranberry to support overall urinary tract health, which as a cisgender lady is something that I very much care about and like to stay on top of as possible. And magnesium, which helps support good sleep, healthy bones, and your overall fitness goals. Magnesium is like one of my favorite vitamins, and if I have a favorite vitamin, magnesium would be it. But magnesium can help you with your occasional sleepless nights and your muscle function, and is an essential mineral for over 300 reactions in your body. Like I said, this is the same pack that I have been receiving, and I find it's really been helping me a lot. And I'm sure the other two, like the last time, are doing their job, and I have found that I am very well responsive to short-term stress and all of that. But magnesium's effects, like I said, are much more obvious. Like, I've been able to relax myself easier and that I am getting more restful sleep. And that is like a big thing for me with magnesium, is the sleep benefits. To help support the habit forming of it all, Care of also has a free app that will send you little push notifications to remind you to take your vitamins, and they will also help you track your progress, and you can earn rewards just for consistency. So if you want to try Care of, use the link in my description box down below and to go take their quiz to find out what's recommended for you, and be sure to use my code MEGANANNE, that's MEGANANNE, at checkout for 50% off your first order. So thank you again so much to Care of for sponsoring another video of mine, and as always, thank you so much to you guys for continuing to interact with my content and all of that, and love things that I put on the line so that brands like Care of want to keep working with me. Alright, so let's get back into today's video. So like I said in the beginning, this video like really doesn't have a thesis or why I think things are the way that they are. It's more just a think piece because it's something that I've been thinking about for a while now. It's like, why does it seem that conservatism and weight loss and fitness are like so linked? I've had to do so much dang unfollowing on the Instagram of people that I have followed in like specifically the weight loss surgery space for years. And like people that I have followed for years have like ultimately now just started to out themselves as transphobic conservatives who I'm like pretty sure don't want me or my girlfriend to like live in peace. And that's just something I cannot subscribe to literally or figuratively. On top of that, like I have gotten so many comments from ever since I started my channel, and especially ever since I came out, that from people who are like left-leaning or part of the LGBTQIA community, telling me how refreshing it is to have someone who speaks out against like fat activism and stuff like that, but also does so with like empathy, but is also very adamantly like left-leaning and also a member of the LGBTQIA plus community. And they say it's like refreshing because a lot of times they've never felt like they fit into like an anti-fat acceptance place. Or like the fitness weight loss side of the internet. And even though that's like kind of the content that they're wanting. Flip side of that feedback, the amount of times that I have gotten comments along the lines of like, I didn't expect to agree with you because you look like a fat activist with the big glasses and your long nails and your nose ring and yada yada yada. Like, so funny to me, but like also never fails to catch me off guard. And so I was like, I can't be the only one that like notices this trend. And so naturally, when I feel that way, I posted something about this on my Instagram story, and I wanted your guys' input because like, I just wanted to see if I was going nuts or if this was like really something that was an observable thing. It turns out I was not alone in my observations. I wanted to share some of the really good responses that I received because I did get a lot of good ones. And so I'm going to read those here really quickly. I'm not going to share names or anything because, like, again, whenever I do this, people didn't really sign up for that. So, yeah. Somebody says, I think a lot of weight loss creators aren't really coming from a place of empathy and understanding like you are, but they are really fueled by hatred/disgust of fatness. And a lot of the time, this overlaps with right-wing ideas in the sense of having to work hard at everything to deserve anything. But the more conservative right-wing idea that I worked really hard to get what I have, I followed all the rules and stuck to what society told me I was supposed to do. Then anyone living their authentic lives as trans non-binary people scare them by breaking the mold and living outside the quote rules. Someone else says, I think it's because fat acceptance has always been associated with leftism or at least radicalism even during its origins in the 1970s and 80s, which I think is a very good point. That's why sometimes that was a note from me, not the person writing this. That's why sometimes it's hard to find people who are actively losing weight and who dislike fat acceptance and are leftist or moderately leftist, at least in my opinion, but we do exist, lol. Someone else says, I think people go too far with the idea that, quote, you've got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps mentality. Certainly effort is required, and no one is going to save you from yourself when it comes to weight loss, but if you apply that idea too broadly, you become blind to the complexity of the world, and everything becomes the fault of the person experiencing hardship. That kind of callous, simple-minded thinking does go hand in hand with modern conservatism. Just my 2 cents, and I'm glad you are here. Thank you. So those are like some of the responses that I got, and there were a lot more that were very similar to that. And there does seem to be like a common thought processes here that like most people seem to think it's like rooted in that like pick yourself up by your bootstraps mentality, and that typically comes with like modern conservative ideals, right? And it also seems that a lot of people, like myself included, think that since a lot of fat activists, just judging by the comments that I get and whatever, seem to think that since a lot of fat activists are left-leaning or like queer or etc. and or both, they oftentimes use that as a part of their brand or like reasoning as to why you cannot disagree with them. It tends to attract more right-leaning conservative types of people calling them on their views and opinions. I also got some responses from people in my life that who have also lost weight, and they were talking about how they've had experiences where like they brought up their weight loss in like a casual conversation with someone who like may not know them very well, and it like quickly turned into like a fuck the libs kind of like situation, and they had to be like, heyo, pump the brakes, like that's not what I'm about. And I have also experienced that like in like Ubers and stuff, which is very awkward because like things like that get very awkward very quickly when I start talking about them. Amidst like all of the other, like of all the great responses and everything, my girly Sam at Every Size did DM me telling me that there is actually like a legitimate link between like white supremacy and personal fitness. And I was like, oh, because she actually has, if you don't know, she actually has like actual education in this, like those topics. And so I trusted her input on that. But I did not have time to like fully deep dive into that sentiment. Simple Google search did lead me to articles titled things like, men who visit the gym are often less likely to believe in socioeconomic equality, finds research, or gym bros more likely to be right-wing assholes, science confirms, or the study linking gym bros to right-wing beliefs is legit, or pandemic fitness trends have gone extreme, literally white supremacists' latest scheme to valorize and violence and hypermasculinity has gone digital. So like that's a start, I guess. But from like what I did read, it does seem that in more layman's terms, like it is based off of like the pick yourself up by your bootstraps or like self-made kind of mentalities that do come along with conservatism these days, at least in America. And which I totally get how all of those are tied to right-wing conservatism in like not a great way, but I also think it's interesting that like motivation and taking personal responsibility is not seen as like a liberal thing. Like, why do those have to have like political leanings? Like that's just a social, personal characteristic. Everything's political, but like, you know, in my own experiences watching like the more conservative, like right-leaning types in the weight loss world on the internet, it does seem like they lack a lot of empathy, which as a queer person in the year of our Lord and Savior Beyonce 2023 is like not surprising. It's a lot of like,
well, I did it, so why can't you? I did it this way, so why can't you? Or I go to the gym 7 days a week and am able to only eat chicken, broccoli, and rice for 3 times a day, 7 days a week. So like, why can't you?
Mental health and like others' life experiences have completely left the chat and are like not brought into the question. And while I absolutely agree, like that one person said, that like a sense of self-starting and self-awareness are integral to starting a weight loss journey, and like ultimately like the only person who can help you is you, like it's also not just that. Like there are a lot of external factors that contribute into somebody being ready to start a weight loss journey or whatever. And I think it's really interesting that it's just been whittled down in some corners of the internet to, well, I did it this way, so why can't you? I do this, so why can't you? I did it the right way, so why can't you? Like, it's so weird to me. And I just wanted to like start this conversation. It's genuinely something I want thoughts on. Why does it seem that in some people's minds, why does somebody's political beliefs matter when it comes to their ability to lose weight or like get fit? Like, why has the weight loss realm of the internet become so polarized? Why can't weight loss and health and everything just be for everyone? Because honestly, I think that's doing a disservice to everyone. Because like I said, I get comments all the time being like, I didn't feel like I fit in these communities because of my sexuality or my political beliefs and stuff. And like, that's sad, because like ultimately community is kind of everything when it comes to staying on a weight loss journey. I feel like I couldn't have done so without the support of like my parents and my friends. I just think it's interesting that it's become so polarized. Why am I as a creator such an odd one out? Like, why is me being an empathetic and understanding person but like also holding people accountable like so weird? I don't get it. And that's why I wanted to make this very odd video, because why can't, in some people's eyes, people be super physically fit, which I'm definitely not saying I am, but like it just for the sake of the question, and also be left-leaning? Why are gym bros more likely to be conservative assholes? I don't know. And honestly, I think this is I want to do a deeper dive into this topic, like, and do actual research and like make a bigger video, because the response to me and my content was honestly really surprising, and especially after I came out, and like that was not something I was expecting. And seeing some of my once favorite creators denouncing people like me and my girlfriend on their very large platforms was also very surprising and disappointing. And like, but seeing that y'all noticed it too was like not so surprising, and honestly kind of affirming. And so I want to just start this conversation here. This is very much the beginning of like a bigger topic for a bigger video. I'm probably going to make it next month. I'm sorry for the rambliness of this video and like how not put together it was, but it's just been something that I've wanted to start the conversation on for a while because I just think it's interesting. Like, why And this also, I need a disclaimer out there that like, this is not me agreeing with the ways that fat activists equate like fat phobia and racism and fat phobia and all that kind of stuff. This is not me doing that. But like, why is health and wellness and fitness so polarized and made so political now? Like, especially on the internet. And like, I just don't get it. So please let me know your comments and opinions down in the comments below, because and also please do not attack each other in the meantime if there is a disagreement. That is not going to be tolerated because that helps nothing. Just let me know your comments down below. This is the start of a big conversation. I just wanted to make this video kind of sharing the input that I've received and all of that kind of stuff. And I also, now that I'm ending it, I just want to thank you again to Care of for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to click the link in my bio if you are interested. But other than that, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds if you need them, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.